Welcome to this recording where you're going to listen to insightful moments recorded during live coaching sessions with my clients who come from diverse professional backgrounds. And if you like what you hear today, please share it with your friends and colleagues. And remember to hit the subscribe button now and ensure that you never miss any other episode. Thank you. So, having that conversation with yourself is crucial. The conversation is, what is it that I need to say to myself so I can feel at peace with what I want to do? So often there's a conflict, right? There's one voice saying one thing, another voice saying another thing. There's parts of us. It's not all of you, but there's a part of you. And the best thing to do with that internal conversation is to sit down with a pen and paper and say, okay, voice A and voice B. There might be a voice C and D, who knows? But these are internal dialogues. You know, I should be doing this, I must be doing that, or I think this would be best, but I really don't want to do that. So there's this conflict, inner conflict. And yes, we can go on holidays with those inner conflicts. And how sad is that? Because you're on a holiday, you're trying to relax, and yeah, there's a part of you disturbing you, saying, oh, maybe you should check that email, or maybe you need to make that phone call. So what we do here is we write down those voices. We go, okay, voice A, voice B, voice 3, the message of those voices, and then we start to make a decision about what we're going to choose. And sometimes this is like big mind and little mind. Little mind is like, trying to keep you safe. It's the inner child. It's the inner critic trying to keep you safe, make sure that you're ticking all your boxes. It's very linear. It's very controlling, wants to make sure you're right. You can't be wrong, right? And then big mind is the one that is safer, is the one that can deal with uncertainty better. So you would also listen to that voice. And then ultimately you make a decision based on a sense of inner peace that doesn't always come from the mind. It can come mostly from the heart. I think all three need to work, the heart, the gut, and the mind together. My experience is once you see that down on paper, you can then, from a big view, expanded awareness, not that narrow focus, because you've done the narrow focus on each one of those voices, is make a decision. And it can still feel like you're making a risk. Like, for example, we're talking, should I take my phone on my holiday? Should I answer my calls? Is it the right thing to do? You can check with your manager, of course. You can ask, you can check and see what the pattern of your organization is. Or do people take their phones and their laptops on holidays? Well, if the rest don't do it, then why would you do it? However, you can have very strong rules in your life, and your rules say, oh no, I must be always on. I need to be available. I have to show my diligence. So those rules, that inner voice, that inner critic could be saying, oh no, that's not how you do things. Oh no, you take your phone on holidays. So it becomes very, very tight. And that one rule could be really controlling your whole life. So when you write it down, you can see that. You can check in and make that big mind decision. So this is the internal voice, and the internal voice is always driving the external voice. And when the internal voice and the external voice being that final decision, telling people, letting people know, no guys, I'm going to be on holiday, so I will not be answering the phone. That's the external voice, communicating to the external, the public. So there's that private voice and the public voice. Now, when they are in conflict, you have a dilemma because you're having to camouflage, probably the best word there to use is block. You have to block a part of you, and on the outside, people feel that you're not totally present with what is here right now. And you lose part of your power. Your power is always about being in truth with what's going on. Probably the correct response here would be to tell everybody, honestly, I find it quite difficult to not bring my phone. I want to check in on everything, I just want to make sure I'm in control, even on my holiday. I just want to see what's coming in and what's coming out. And I'm finding it difficult, but you know what? I'm going to make a decision not to let it, I'm not going to be bringing my phone, guys. This is probably the first time for me doing this. So here's where we're communicating congruently. We're letting people know, if you can, if it's needed, that it is a conflict for you. However, because you're sharing your feelings, your emotions, an emotional intelligent trait, that this is challenging. However, you've made a decision. Okay, so sometimes we need to also let the public know, when appropriate, about how you feel about things. And it's okay to have vulnerability as a communicator. To say, my internal voice, like, I'm having this little kind of conflict, but you know what? I'm going to make this decision. So this is about acknowledging the internal communication, acknowledging that internal voice, and then ultimately making a decision to get that internal voice public, right? And how to manage that, first with yourself and then out externally.
Thank you for listening to this recording. I hope it has helped you. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time.